Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
I haven't seen this beer in a long time, and I've never seen it in a can. What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. And I have a beer here that I don't even know where to begin. This beer is Arctic Panzer Wolf from Floyds Brewing Company. Now, way back in 2009, probably. I was out with a Monomarth. Or maybe it might have been, it had to have been around 2009 or so. Somewhere in there. I was out with a Monomarth, and Floyds brought a bunch of beers to us, or to the band. And that's the first time I ever came across Floyds beers. And this is one of them. And this was the first beer I'd ever had from Floyds. And it was in a big bomber bottle. I fell in love. Loved that beer. I've always enjoyed their beers. I remember coming off the tour, after the tour was over, and emailing a guy named Barnaby. Rest in power, my friend. Sad to see that you're gone. And because he had given me his business card, and he just said, hey, when you get home, email me. Because I'd asked him if he knew where I could find beers around me. And at the time, they didn't distribute Floyds to Ohio. Emailed him like, hey, I'm back in Ohio. This is where I live. What beer stores do you distribute to? Never heard back from him as far as email goes. Then one day I get a knock on the door. Here's a package I have to sign for. And it was 6 bombers of Floyds beer with a note inside. It just said, hey, Barnaby told me to send you these beers. I don't know. I hope you know what's going on. Cheers. And that was just super cool. And that was one of my first experiences with Floyds. I've always been enamored with them. They've always done excellent beers. Gone to Dark Lord Day a few times. Every time a Monomarth's in town, they always bring out beers for us. Just a great brewery, great people. And I'm excited to finally find this beer around here again and give it a review. Now, I haven't had this beer in a long, long time. I hope I still like it as much as I did when I first had it. I had it well before Untapped was even around. But the first time I checked into it on Untapped was 2011. So let's get into the beer now that I've talked so much that nobody's even watching anymore. This is Arctic Panzer Wolf from Floyds, like I said. And the can art is a little different, but still kind of the same as on the bottle. The bottle was more of a reddish, but this is awesome, like Arctic Wolf. It is an Imperial India Pale Ale, 9% alcohol. Surprising, right? I really enjoyed an Imperial IPA as much as I rail about IPAs. And according to Untapped, this has 100 IBUs, although it's not listed on the can. There's a canned on date, packaged on 11/27/24. So this is a little over a month old. Should still be good. A dry and stupendously hopped, medium-bodied Imperial India Pale Ale, brewed with Canadian two-row malt, dextrose sugar, and lots of American hops. Arctic Panzer Wolf has superior aromas of marmalade, white peach, pine, and apricot, all mixed with intense American hop bitterness. Floyds.com. So I'm excited to get into this and try it. Like I said, I've had it for years. Paid $5.10 a can for the can. And if this beer is as good as I remember it, that is probably a steal. So on Untapped, this gets a 4.13 with 50.6 thousand check-ins. On Beer Advocate, it gets a 95 world class with 3,723 check-ins, both of which are as of the time of this recording. And since it has that many check-ins, I'll give you the aggregate score on Beer Advocate. It gets a 4.26. What a beautiful beer. Now, all of a sudden in the last 10 minutes, I've gotten a little stuffy. You can probably hear it in my voice. But that peach is actually cutting right through that. And it is peach. You do get pine. I don't know so much about the marmalade, but that could be, I'm starting to get a little stuffy for some reason. And of course, I had to dip my beak in it. And the weather here, it's Cleveland, it's winter. Snow's on the ground. It's dead quiet outside. There's no wind. And it's just hovering around freezing. So there's no reason for my nose to be stuffy. God, I did it for a second time. But I am getting that white peach. Get pine. Maybe somebody with a better schnoz than me can pick up the marmalade. Since I'm tired of sniffing it, tired of sniffing the foam up my nose. Let's look at the color here. I mean, that's a beautiful orangey color. I mean, probably around the 7 on the SRM chart. A lot of, I don't know if that's sediment or, yeah, it looks like a lot of sediment floating around in there. It had a nice big white head on the top. And I'm thirsty. I can't wait to try this and see if it's as good as I remember. Here's to you, Barnaby. Cheers, everybody. Yeah. Medium body for sure. 9%, no indication of the alcohol whatsoever. And that's just nice. Bitterness is there, but it's not over the top bitterness, not crazy bitterness, it's not like hit you in the mouth bitterness. It's just really tasty. It's a really well done, well balanced IPA. Imperial IPA. Marmalade and white peach is probably good descriptions of the flavors here. A little bit of pininess. The sweetness is there, and the pininess, the bitterness cuts through it. Everything is so well balanced, so refined, so nice. This is every bit as good as I remember it. This is the kind of IPAs I liked. This is one of the beers that kind of got me into IPAs and the big, crazy IPAs. This is what I remember from back then. Back before we hit that moment where everybody was just trying to quintuple, sextuple, hop everything to try to cram as much hops as they possibly could into a beer to just burn your taste buds out, to burn your mouth out with hops. This is before that time when things were balanced, where things were tasty, fruity, drinkable. 9% alcohol, no notice of that at all. This is 2 big horns up. This is just as good as I remember. Worth every penny I paid for it. If you can find Arctic Panzer Wolf in your area at all, I want to taste what a real Imperial IPA tastes like. What everybody else tries to copy, pick up this beer. This is an exceptional beer from an exceptional brewery. Hope you all think I'm an exceptional brew tuber. If you do, give me that like, give me that subscribe, and let me know down below. Have you had Arctic Panzer Wolf? What's your favorite beer from 3 Floyds? If I've been a little too long-winded lately. And as always, embrace the adventure.